But let's begin in the capital. Arts and Culture Minister Gayton McKenzie will this morning launch the 2024 National Heritage Month at Freedom Park in Pretoria. This year's theme is celebrating the lives of our heroes and heroines who laid down their lives for our freedom. The celebration is hoping to put a spotlight on the Resistance and Liberation Heritage Route program and put a focus on selfless struggle heroes and heroines who sacrificed their lives for the country's liberation. Let's get you a sense of how things are unfolding. Calvin Dludla is part of our team live to us in Pretoria ahead of this launch. He joins us now live. So, Calvin, perhaps take us through some of the activities that we expect to see today in the lead up to this address from the Sports, Arts and Culture Minister.
Good morning to you, Ayanda Nyati, and good morning to SABC viewers. You have mentioned you are here at the Freedom Park. We are with the Minister of Defense, Motshekga. Minister, thank you very much for your time and for your quick response when we tried to call you. You can just elaborate more on what is expected to transpire here today.
Now, today is a big day. Part of it is because it's Heritage Month, but we're also going to be really reflecting on the program that we have of repatriation of the remains which were in Zambia and in Zimbabwe.
Minister, let's talk about the repatriation of those remains of those who died in the African countries. How is the department doing on that?
You know, it's led by SRAC, but as military veterans, we also have a branch in the military veterans which deals with memorial, heritage, which has been then repatriating remains in different parts. We have repatriated the remains that were in Botswana, and under Minister McKenzie, we are now dealing with Zambia and Zimbabwe. We will be moving to other parts of the continent. What we are currently doing is to take now the entire remains in a country so that we are finished with the country and to be moving from country to country.
Minister, since you were with the Department of Basic Education, I think you are aware that the military veterans have been complaining of they have grievances. Are you addressing those?
No, I am aware. I was even aware as cabinet when they marched, when the presidential task team was established. I was already a member of the cabinet. So we are systematically now addressing most of the grievances that they have raised. Some are not easy to do, like expunging criminal records from veterans that were in conflict with the law. But those that we can manage, we're dealing with them.
There are soldiers that were sent to the DRC. How are they coping? How is the situation there?
I get daily reports from the Secretary of Defense. Obviously, a war situation is not like a holiday or honeymoon, but they are coping, and we really monitor them on a daily basis. And fortunately, we are not there only as South Africa. We are there as SADC. So there is a team of countries, including America, which is covering them. So as I say, it's not like we've sent them to a Sunday school picnic. We send them to a very difficult area, but they are coping. So there's a group which is going to be going recent to relieve those that have gone out. So far, manageable.
Let me ask you this question, Minister. You are from the basic education, a different portfolio from this one. How are you coping?
Strange enough, I thought I was going to be unhappy. I must tell you, I'm settling in. I find it a different department with your strict order system. So at least there's control and order, which is fine. And the issues are the same, because from where we sit as a ministry is to support the department to do its work, to go through its books. I mean, we've been getting qualified reports, so we have a team, an audit team, which is cleaning up. We are having serious problems also about the budget cuts, which are beginning to impact on the core services of the department. We've been engaging the Minister of Finance.
We are celebrating and remembering those who fought for this country, who put down their lives to fight for our democracy. Have you invited their family members or relatives?
We couldn't do it without them, because they belong to families, they belong to communities. So there's a whole process to mobilize and involve families. In some instances, for instance, when we are going to repatriate bodies, families have been invited so that if there are some rituals when the remains are collected, we should be able to do whatever rituals that are there. Even here, there's a whole process which will involve the families, will involve the communities where they come from, but also the political parties, ANC and PAC, because those remains are remains of PAC soldiers and remain the majority of them of ANC soldiers. So even ANC is put on board. The Deputy President, even yesterday, we were just really talking about the program, because indeed it is bodies which belonged to parties, belonged to people that they didn't belong to government. So government is just facilitating and making sure that families are assisted. We've sent them social workers, we've sent them also counsellors to support the family through this very difficult period. So we've tried to cover all the angles that we're supposed to really look after.
Thank you very much, Minister. Well, Ayanda Nyathi, that was the Defence Minister, Angie Motshekga, just setting a scene for us. But I can say that the event has not started as yet. We are just waiting for the Minister, Minister Gayton McKenzie. But when the event starts, we will indicate to you. But for now, let me just say back to you in studio.
Right, Calvin Dludla, thanks very much indeed. Calvin's live to us there from Freedom Park in Pretoria.